The Upper West Regional Minister Stephen Yakubu says he's worried about the increasing rate at which the country is losing its forest cover. Ghana loses about 65,000 hectares of forest per year, representing about 2.3% average annual loss. He warns that if care is not taken, the country is likely to lose all its forest cover by 2040 due to human activities. It was contained in a speech read on his behalf during the Green Ghana Day.
This year's Green Ghana Day celebration in the Upper West region, organized by the Forest Service Division in partnership with the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, was held at West Senior High School. The event was attended by people from all walks of life, including members of the Regional Security Council, heads of the centralized departments, chiefs and queen mothers, and students of the school. The objective of the Green Ghana Day seeks, among others, to create awareness on the necessity for collective action towards restoration of degraded landscape in the country, inculcate in the youth the values of planting and nurturing trees and their associated benefits, and mitigate climate change. Upper West Regional Minister Stephen Yakubu, in a speech read on his behalf by Chief Director at the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, Peter M. Mala, painted a gloomy picture for the country. If care is not taken, the country is likely going to lose its forestry cover in 16 years. In order to reverse the trend, he noted that government in 2017 committed to an aggressive afforestation and reforestation program, which has led to the cultivation of almost 721,000 hectares of forest from 2017 to 2023 under the Ghana Forest Plantation Strategy.
The Green Ghana project is one of the measures the government of Ghana has adopted to curb the incessant degradation of our forests, which has been going on for years without any conscious effort to replace them and to contribute to the global fight against climate change. In fact, available statistics show that between 2010 and 2015 alone, the amount of forest loss in Ghana far exceeded the area of forest cultivated between 1963 to 2016, which stands at 157,300 hectares. Furthermore, estimates from the Forestry Commission and the World Bank suggest that Ghana loses about 65,000 hectares of forest per year, represent about 2.03% average annual loss. So if care is not taken, the country is likely to lose all its forest cover by 2040 due to human activities.
Upper West Regional Manager of the Forest Service Division, Godfrey Koshiga, disclosed that with a national target of planting 10 million tree seedlings, 600,000 of them will be planted in the Upper West region.
I am happy and proud to report that in the last 3 years of the inception of the Green Ghana Day, over 103 million trees have been distributed and planted in the region, in both on and off forest reserves, exceeding our yearly targets. And we can proudly say that our survival rate falls within 60 to 70%. I wish to say, as of this morning, the 7th of June 2024, over 534,000 seedlings have been distributed to individuals and other organizations for planting this morning. This will tell you that the patronage for this year is gone higher as compared to last year.
Authorities at the West Senior High School have seeded part of the school premises and frontage for the planting of 10,000 tree seedlings. Hakeem Musa is an assistant headmaster of West Senior High School.
With a lineup of containers in front of the school's wall by the roadside, of which the owners' activities have become nuisance to our efforts to green the space between the walls and the road. Their uncontrolled burning activities of their waste materials lead to bush fires and countless times, making our efforts to green the frontage of our school fruitless. Therefore, we are appealing to the regional Honorable Regional Minister to use his good office to evacuate the containers that are lined up in front of our walls to enable the school nest seedlings to trees.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
And in the West Mamprusi Municipality, Paramount Chief of Kparigu of the Northeast region, Nasugri Mahami, is asking government to take bold and sustainable measures to curtail the destruction of indigenous and native trees in the northern region. He says these trees have a lot of economic and medicinal benefits to communities and its people, while significantly contributing to climate change.
In this preaching, the nationwide exercise was held simultaneously in Nalirgu and Kparigu, with the one in Kparigu facilitated by Eco Restore, a Ghanaian landscape restoration firm which is partnering communities to restore the depleting savanna parklands and other wooded areas across northern Ghana. At the Chief Palace, officials of Eco Restore first met with the community members, including school children, in an open discussion centered on the pros and cons of deforestation and afforestation. The organization was particularly concerned about the rising trend of destruction of indigenous and native trees across the region. The community members were ultimately equipped with knowledge on the benefits of the presence and otherwise of such trees in their localities, and were encouraged to protect rather than destroy them. The chief of the community, Nasugri Mahami, in his address said the adverse impact of cutting down trees in the communities was now very obvious in health facilities and the type of weather disasters being recorded.
dan kurna kala man bu asasama ba maram man na kina ti jobare mo sa bare mo la sa man ya lani kay sa la ta ban juna ko ama be malalo ba tama ma sa man no ta ko ba agbadiya ka ba pom ba ta ko pam gwa ni bati ni ku cha ashiti ani jindu ni ta hadan la.
The panel also raised serious concerns regarding the activities of land grabbers, who he said were now the major drivers of deforestation and weather disasters in the northern regions. He commended the government for the annual nationwide initiative, whilst appealing to the government to take note of the geographical dynamics between the north and south by providing for planting trees that can easily adapt to the unique weather patterns of the north. Director of Eco Restore, Zakaria Isahaku, explained the exercise was to support community to restore the depleted native trees as well as their indigenous sources of livelihood.
And as you can see from the Deva, there's a huge enthusiasm, a huge interest in the planting of the trees to restore the landscape. You know that the indigenous tree species, the Dawa, the share, the tamarins, and all of that have all disappeared suddenly, unfortunately, because of the way and manner we have managed them. So this whole Deva is about really dedicating ourselves to planting of these trees so that we can restore our landscape, we can farm more sustainably, we can generate enough income.
Another director, Dr. Peter Lovett, appealed to the government to provide regulatory support to the communities.
Full support, and then the farmer can own those trees and look after them properly. So we're looking for support from the government now and into the future.
And in a similar exercise, King of Dagbon, Yana Abukari II, has bemoaned the devastation caused by the landscape of Dagbon. He was speaking at a similar exercise in Yendi during the Green Ghana Day.
The northern region received 500,000 trees for this year's tree planting exercise. Last year, the region received 300,000 with about a 50% survival rate. Speaking at a short ceremony to kickstart this year's Green Ghana tree planting exercise, the King of Dagbon, whose speech was read on his behalf by the chief of Zangbalan Lana, Dr. Jacob Mahama, said despite the challenges faced by the exercise, they have had about 66% survival rate of the trees from 2021 to 81% in 2023. The King called for a more collaborative effort to protect the environment.
It's such a shame when you see our landscape from the windows of aircrafts preparing to land from the sky in Tamale. Large tracts of land devoid of forest cover, large empty waterways caused by years of unbridled erosion. It's always an eyesore to me as I gaze down, seeing my beloved land being wasted away. And thinking about its implication on the output of our farmers and our ability in future to feed our families. With all this in mind, we wholeheartedly embrace this laudable program and are always ready to do our best to protect our environment and our ability to fend for our families. Going for a greener tomorrow. It's like planting seeds of hope for the future, our children and our grandchildren. To show how much this exercise is dear to me, I'm personally leading the event from the Gbewa Palace. So my friends, let's get our hands dirty and plant these trees with love and care.
The Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Benito Owusu-Bio, said over the years, the ministry has planted over 42 million trees with an increasing survival rate of 80%.
The reason is to continuously and urgently tackle the challenges of climate change, air pollution, and the loss of biodiversity. The theme of this year is Growing for a Greener Tomorrow, and the purpose is for us to do a sustainable environmental conservation for our future well-being. Over the years, we've planted over 42 million trees. This is to enable us as a government and as a people of this country to push the boundaries and contribute to the global challenge by eliminating the devastating nature of the depletion of our forest reserves.
A representative of the Church of Pentecost, who are partnering the Gbewa Palace for the exercise, Apostle John Bedu Kovnateria, reiterated the church's commitment to the tree planting exercise.
We have decided to push our attention to the north, where all our 8 areas in the northern sector, comprising northern Savannah and all the upper regions, have targeted to plant 105,650 trees to cover a space of 262 acres. That is for the north alone. As we do this, our brethren in the southern sector and other sectors are also engaged in the same exercise.